platform. This will help those who are coming new to see previous resources that the community has shared before. So once you see the link or the WhatsApp group chat, ensure you be the first to, run and click and join. Understood? To the almost 80 people in this class, do you guys
Yes.
understand? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Noted.
at the end of
Noted.
the class, the Telegram platform will be sent to the WhatsApp. Ensure you click it,
Yes.
because if you don't click it, the resource, I'm repeating it again, no, the resources for this class, maybe anything like notebook or whatever, you will not get access to it. It will only be on the Telegram platform. So ensure you do that. Okay, fine. And I believe attendance has been taken. And if you've not taken attendance, just be patient. Before the end of the class, you take attendance. One more instruction to give. So some persons reach out to us. We have people who are not just in Nigeria. Currently, we have people all over. We have from US, and we have from Canada. We have from France. And France. We have from. I know the one from. I know from London. That's UK. So there's a lot of persons. And yesterday, okay, fine. I just saw Canada now. Yesterday, I was speaking Pidgin English, and somebody replied and said, "I don't understand Pidgin English." But the person is part of the training. I didn't take that as I didn't catch that. It was later the team reminded me that somebody was trying to explain that he or she does not understand Pidgin English very well. So guys, you have to bear with us. Even if it's Python in Pidgin and thereabouts, we will explain when the thing is difficult, we can explain in Pidgin. But give us the grace to be able to use English to accommodate everybody first. You understand? Is that understood?
Later. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just one person said yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir. We are with you, sir.
Noted. Noted.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
boss.
So that we can accept people who are from US and Canada, UK, and then France.
But I wanted to ask, do we have to have an account on for that Telegram to join your Telegram group?
Telegram is like WhatsApp. If you have your number, you can use your number to create a Telegram account. Just register with your number. That's all. That's
That means
that's how,
after this lecture or this lesson, like that's what I'm going to do.
after the class you can create Telegram now. Just like your number, the way you register for WhatsApp, that's how you register for Telegram. But just
No problem.
the group chat, you see the link to join the community. Join it, because that's where resources like notebook, PDF files, and the rest. If you want to send them, we'll send them on Telegram so that anybody that just joined the community can get resources. That's for everybody to enjoy now. Sharp.
It's okay. But
Let's go ahead.
I don't know. Is there no way we can still use the WhatsApp group as an alternative?
No, we don't want to use the WhatsApp group as an alternative again. So the WhatsApp group, that we are canceling the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group is still there, but yeah, you understand. Okay.
No problem.
Somebody say, let's start to. You've not even started. You will see class and you will run. Don't worry. A time will come, we'll stay here. You'll be the one begging. So where do we start from now? Yeah, let's move on. So everybody mute your mic. Let me start. And like I said, I've showed you guys the collab. If you've not watched the collab, go to maybe on the Telegram or the WhatsApp. We'll post the link there to go and watch how to use collab. But today we'll start Python. So this is the collab platform, like we said yesterday. So from this top bar like this, you can rename. So I will rename this. This is where you rename your maybe the title of the notebook you are using. You understand? So you name it as let me just name this one as Peep. Please mute your mic.
Please, I want to ask a question, please.
Please, can we do that like in the next 30 minutes? Let me teach something first. Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. So you can name it as Peep. So let's say Peep underscore. Let me just do test. Do you understand? So pip test. Now, this part you see here, this IPYBND, this is the extension. This extension simply means that it is a notebook, Jupyter notebook. That's what we call it. It's not like you have two type of Python. Let me just say framework. You have one as py. That's anyway you say .py. It means, please mute your mic. It means it's a Python. Is a Python script. But when you see IPYNB, just know that it's a notebook. Why is it a notebook? Because a notebook has what we call, it has two type of cells. You have the test cell and then you have the code cell. This test cell is where you can write any write-up.
I don't know.
Okay, so this test cell is where you can write any write-up. So let me click on it and write something. So I'll write my first program in Python. So you see, now it's just normal test. Your computer does not run it. It's just for you to segment your code. That's where you have this test. Do you understand? So, and then this part, this cell is where you run your code. But before I write any code, let me just explain all of this top menu here so that you guys can understand very well. So this part, fine, is just normal, where you can create a new notebook, upload. If you have watched the video, I explain all of these things on the video. So the link also will be sent. And I also explain what edit means, what view means. But the main part I want you to understand here is this connect. So imagine that Colab, what Colab is that it's like you have your computer on the cloud. Google has given you a software you can use to run Python, on the cloud. It's just there. It does not use much MB itself. You understand? It's just like you are on a browser. So, but for you to run any code, you need to connect. So Google gives you resources. So you need to connect first. Once you connect, which I'm going to do now, just watch. So I'm connecting to an host time. So watch this part here. Once you see green color here, that means that okay, it has connected. So look at what Google has given to me. This is like a computer. It has given me RAM. How many gig? How many gig size is the RAM?
0.76 gig.
No,
12.67.
12.67
Okay.
is the RAM. And how many
Sorry.
how many size is the disk?
Okay.
One
177.
107.72
So that's
gig.
about 110. Can you imagine that this, if you have this kind of system, it's top system now. So just to run Python, so this is like a system they're giving you, the RAM. So you mean that you have fast RAM to do whatever you want to do, to load the lot and all of that. So I've connected now. Now that I've connected, I can type code. So let me print your first code on Python. So I'll use print. It's not print out. I'm not doing any printer here. Print. I'll just type hello pip community. Let me put it here. Hello pip community. And then to run it is to click. You can press this play. Just press it. Once it rotates, see. So this is your first Python code. These are you've run first Python code. So let me do another one. You see, I can see 2 plus 3 because it's a cell. I don't need to do print. I'll just run it. I'll get 5. So that's how you run. That's how you work with Colab. But that's not the topic for today. The topic for today is what I'm going to pull up now, which is variable. I want us to start talking about the main concept of every programming language. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. So give me a few minutes. Let me put that up. Let me bring that up right now on my screen. So what is a variable? Has anybody ever heard the word variable before? What do you think? What do you think?
Yes,
Use the word?
I've heard.
Tell me, what do you think? What do you think is a variable?
Okay, now variable is like it's like the things like the different parts of a system. Like for
Mhm.
example, now if you take x and y, they are variable of a particular numbers or a particular figure. I think that's what variable is.
Okay, okay.
Well,
For
I think
some
in
of
the
us,
layman's
okay.
a
Tell me,
a
layman. Tell
variable
me,
is more like
layman.
I think it's more like a container that can receive a value and also give
Okay.
it out just where it is without being constant. Like it
Oh,
varies. What it can contain, what it can carry, it varies at every given
okay.
time.
Okay. Sharp. Anybody again?
I would say a variable is a
Could
reference
could
point.
Okay, it's a reference point. Okay.
uh,
I can hear you.
variable
Go ahead, though.
I can see
So I want to put up
variable
some.
I can see say
Okay, I
Definition.
would
a kind
say
of
variable is where our
No, no,
data
let's go. Let's go one
stored.
after the other, please. Let's go one after the other. All right, the lady,
I
the
would,
lady, the lady,
variable
the lady. Mhm.
thank
Let
you.
me hear the lady's
I would,
voice.
I would say variables are where we store our data.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe data we want to reuse, so we just save it there.
All right, so fine. Thank you. You guys are fine. Clap for yourself. So variables, like you can see on my screen now, variables is like, let me make it a little bit big for you guys to see. Variable is like a container that you use to store data or values. When it comes to programming language, variable is like a container. So typical example, many of us, we have salt in our kitchen, and you have pepper, you have, let me imagine what you have. Pepper, salt, Maggi, uh,
Onion.
onion, thank you. Now, it's typical in the house. If you tell your brother or your sister, say, Alpha, go to the kitchen, go bring pepper, come, or go bring salt, come. You are expecting that that's your brother or sister will enter kitchen and bring a container. Abi, he will bring a container and give to you and say, take salt. But literally, is that actually salt? That container, is it actually salt? No. But because that container is containing, or it has salt inside, he knows that, okay, this is the right thing to give to you. So, in other words, that container that you are using to store salt or you are using to store pepper, that is what we call variable in programming. That is a variable. Anything that you use to store something is called variable. Now, get the idea. Okay. So, a variable is assigned name, which is used to refer to it. For example, many of us now, for your house, if you get the same, maybe you buy, it's common with Nigerians, you go buy Milo, that big Milo can. If you finish, you no go throw away the can. Or you buy custard. If you custard finish, you no throw away am. You use until you keep the container, you put salt inside. You buy another custard again. You use and finish, you put pepper inside. So it can be as if those containers be like say they did the same. But what you can't do, you can't use label. They put say, okay, this one has salt, this one has Maggi container. How many of us do that thing? You don't come on now. Nigerians in
Yes.
the house. You understand, Abby?
Guilty. They're guilty.
Yes,
Okay. So what
both crayfish and all that.
thank you. So that's the way they do. That's what you do. It's called that is you giving a variable a name. Take it as you are giving a variable a name. So that anytime you say, for example, now some of us will do, if you say go kitchen, maybe somebody new just enter your house, say go kitchen, go bring salt, come. If the person does not understand the container, let's if you go carry omo, because say white, because this is salt. So people when go there has already know, okay, this one has salt, this one has this one has that, based on the maybe some of us say now the cover when you use it, the cover you use in covering that container. If the cover is red, you know this one is salt. If the cover is blue, you know this one is Maggi. If the cover is green. So those differentiation that you give to those containers is what we call name. That is assigning a name to a variable. So that whenever you call that variable, the computer will know that, okay, it is two you are looking for. You get it? And then a variable is mutable. These are three things you must understand. A variable is mutable. That is, the value can change at any time. What does this mean? It means that you can go in your house now today and decide that the container you are using to store salt, you don't want to use them again. It will not store salt anymore. It is pepper you want to store inside. That is it. You have changed it. So if, for example, you're using a white container to store salt before, and later you now decide to store pepper inside. If you tell somebody go and bring salt, you expect that the person will not go and bring that white container again, because it's no longer salt that is being stored inside. It's not pepper. So the person will bring another container for you. That maybe he knows that that's where salt is now. That is what we mean by a variable is mutable. Meaning you can save a number, you can save a value, you can save data inside it, and at a time you can change. Maybe during the course of your programming, the coding you are doing, you can change the value. So it is not like constant, unless there's a concept that you can define that a variable should be constant. You can do it. That's another level. But primarily, or for beginners, just to say you can change the value of a variable. I think that address what a variable is. All right, so we've done that. The next thing we are going to look at is what we call rules of naming a variable. So what are the rules of naming a variable? Let me just copy that and paste there, please. Just a minute. Pasting it one after the other so that we'll be saying it. Okay. Okay. And okay, so I'll put a new test here. Fine. So what are the rules of naming a variable? Let me make it small. So the first rule we use in naming a variable, when you want to name a variable in Python, is that variable you are naming, the name of the variable should not be a reserved word. What is a reserved word? I always use this explanation. Some of us here, if you're a Christian, if you hear that somebody's name, have you ever heard somebody give birth to a child as a Christian, and they will call the child name Jesus? Say today your name is Jesus, now Jesus will be here. Do you often hear that kind of thing? Like just somebody when they say the name of Jesus.
No.
Yes.
Have you say yes? Have you heard somebody?
Yes.
Jesus for Arsenal now. It's Jesus, but it's being pronounced
In this
differently.
part,
He
part
just
of
said
the
that.
world, in
He
this
just
part
said
of
not
the
a
world, based
regular
on data.
now. Not regular.
Only Nigeria, not
But in this
abroad.
part of the
Thank
world,
you.
in Africa, it's not.
It don't do in Nigeria at all.
It is not a common name, so nobody
So
names
it's
their
not a common
children
name.
Jesus.
Now, what it means is that it is a
It's a
reserved
reserve
word.
word. It's a reserve word.
It's a reserved Jesus. That word Jesus is a reserved word. I'm hearing echo. Can mute your mic. So that word Jesus is a reserved word. Not be everybody they bear Jesus. Or those of us when they Benin, when you grew for Benin. How many of them don't name your pikin Anini? It's not actually reserved word, but you get the idea.
Go for a bit.
Okay. So I believe my point now, you don't understand my point. So in Python, use Oba as an example. Don't they name person Oba? So in Python, you have what they call reserved words. That this word, they already planned. They planned it that the Python, when they were creating Python, when they building Python, those words they use and they plan some things. So you go see the examples when we don't they go forward. But let me just list it with my mouth so that in case you see them, you will know. We get something like if, s, def, for, why, int, list, dit, there many. So I know they call it now because sure, but when they do coding, you go they use your math and say now reserve word. Math type one, int. This one a reserve word. For reserve word. List reserve word. Why reserve word. Float reserve word. Boo. Not be bull, not be like boo, not be boo. Dit,
Or
reserve word.
and
Set, thank you. And, or, not.
Look.
no,
You say what?
no,
Else if.
S,
STR, thank you.
You.
First.
Int.
print,
INT.
I've written INT.
YOU.
INT. Int.
YOU.
that's print there. Print,
Why OU will be reserve word now?
Int. INT.
Yeah, there's INT already. Look at it here. INT there already. So,
what
do
about
you understand?
S?
Don't you understand the idea? So you don't,
Yes.
you don't name all of these things. You don't name them variable. You don't loop is not a reserve word. It's not a reserve word. Loop is a concept. It's not a reserve word. Reserve word, def, class, okay, def, class, length. Some length is not good. I don't set tuple. One LE tuple. All these things are reserve words. So you don't name your variable that one. Okay, so you already have the idea. Let me leave.
Sir,
Let me
what of div?
Eh?
What of div?
div is not a reserve word.
Yes.
It's not a reserve word. See, a reserve word it varies across different programming language. Just know that reserve words are maybe sometimes functions or whatever that commonly, what you can do, just go to Google and type list of Python reserve words. You see them, but you will know when you start learning the code now. By the 15th day of this training, you will know what is a reserve word and you will not use it. So there's no need to kill yourself over it. Just calm down. Just a full up. Just a full up. They follow me here. Okay, so the next one is do not begin a variable name with a number or symbol. So this is, don't start a variable name like this. Maybe you won't name variable. Don't start like this. Don't start with a symbol. Maybe something like my name. For example, this is wrong. You don't start a variable name with a symbol. In fact, if you do something like my name, there's what we call comment in code. In coding, you don't comment them. So you don't start, and you don't do something like two number, for example, or you won't do something like you want something like one number. You don't do things like this. It's wrong. So do not begin a variable name with a number, e.g., two friend or hash name. That is wrong. If you do it like that, you get error. Then secondly, do not give space in your variable name. Rather use underscore. What does that mean? Let's say you want to create a variable name called first name. Don't do something like this. First name. You can't give space. It is wrong. It is wrong. Or maybe you do something like my number. It is wrong. The best way to correct it is to do first underscore, use underscore name. Either you put underscore to join them together, or you just add them together completely. First name. There's another style we call Kame casing. You can do it like this: first name. So this part is correct. This one is correct, but this one, let me do SSS to show that it is wrong. This one is wrong. This one is correct. So these are you give space. It's either you use underscore, either use underscore, or you put them together, or you do this one where the first letter starts with small letter, and then the second word, you understand? This one, the first word, it starts with small letter F. The second word starts with name. Doesn't mean if you do something like this, first name, it go work. But just that for coding, sometimes, this one be the common way we always do code. With the name variable with small letter. small capital, all of them feature with small letter all throughout. You understand? That's what we did. Only now for other programming language like if you do those Kobo, Fortran, and the rest, and SQL, now the CC code is sometimes a capital letter, but over here, just do small letter. You get the idea. So I don't teach you now how to name variable. Then the last thing, most check last thing. Make your variable name meaningful or recognizable. What in this thing mean? Be say you can check with the message. Okay. Ready? Okay, fine, no matter. So what did this thing mean? We say this last line. Some people, let's say you want name variable, you want create value, maybe say, or variable, you could collect people age, for example, or maybe person name. How you go take name am? Instead of you to just do S is equal to something, maybe S is equals to Amaka. Instead rather than doing something like this, why not just say name is equal to Amaka? Which one is easy to understand? This S is equal to Amaka or name is equal to Amaka? Which one they easy to understand? Or another one, Z is equal to 30, age is equal to 30. Which one they very easy to understand? For the second one. You see, now the age, now the important. So when you are naming your variable, this thing I teach you so when you are doing your assignments, now so they score you. If you name variable we don't make sense, you just the name Java variable, you go lose mark. But if you name variable, we say it makes sense. You understand? If person see the code, go say okay, now this variable you name, you declare, you will get pass mark. So some people they did name any thing. So I don't want that. You understand? So I've taught you guys what is a variable, rules for naming a variable. There's another thing I want to teach you again now. Another one I want to teach you guys now. Hope is interesting. By 9:45, I will take questions. Okay, so this one, by 9:45, I will take questions. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. All right. So this one is data type. Now listen, this thing is very important, very, very important. If you don't understand this one, you go to get many error. So it's good you understand this one that I want to teach you now. Hey, I just remember something. But I know this. Please just a minute. I forgot something. Somebody said I should send the link to the class. So from my screen now, you already see what I want to talk about, the different type of data type. Now this thing is very important. If you miss this thing, you go get many issues. You understand? So it's important you learn it. So for the last time, let me answer this question, because I'll start ignoring the question now going forward. So I'll answer it. You don't get recording for the class at the end of the class. So I'll start going forward. I'll start ignoring that question, because I will take it that who they ask that question, not the con class. Okay, so I'm also excited because some persons will be training us. These guys are very good people. Some sharp people will be training us. One she's from France. She's in France. The other one she's in London, and the other of my guys in Nigeria. Yeah. These guys are members of the community and they have made themselves available to teach you guys. They are very good people and you enjoy them. I'll introduce them to you maybe tomorrow. So more clap for themselves in advance. These people are very good people. Very, very good guys. All right, so let's just go ahead. What are the data type in Python? What are the data type? We have 4 basic data type. 4 basic data type. So they are clapping for you guys. They are here, don't mind them. Those people they are here, they are just shy. But they're very good. So what are the 4 basic data type? We have integer. Integer is something you will never forget. When you are doing coding, don't forget it because it's very simple. And they will not have float. Very, very simple too, but don't forget it. They will not have string. Very simple, but still don't forget it. And the last one, we have boolean. So these things are, this is the 4 core data type. There are many terminologies in Python. This one is the first time I'm introducing you into 4 basic data type which you will learn for Python. It also crosses across, or it goes across the various programming language. If you do C, C++, C#, Golang, PHP, which I never call again. Which other programming language do I know that I've not called? Java and the rest, JavaScript and the rest also. So what is the first one? The first one is what we call integer. Integers are numbers without decimal points. Numbers without decimal point. Anytime you see a number or you want to declare a number, you want to assign a number called or a value called number to a variable, which I will show you how to assign the value to a variable. It's either it can be an integer or not. An integer is a number without decimal point. For example, age. Age not get decimal point. You don't basically you ask person, what's your age? You say I am 30.5 years old. Is there anything like that? There's nothing like 30.5 years old. Abi? There's nothing like 20.3 years old or 11.7 years old. So age is a random example of an integer. Another thing is if you add 7 plus 7, you get 14. 14 has no decimal point, so 14 is an integer. So you must understand what we mean by integers. So 1, yeah, like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 to 100. So they don't have decimal point. That's integer. And in Python, we know it as int, which is int. Int, which is called what? Int. That's the short word we call it. Integer, the short word is int. So anywhere you see int in this programming language, know that, oh, the integer that they talk about. The next one is float. Float is the opposite of an integer. Floats are numbers with decimal points. I'll give you an example. Salary. Let's say you want to save somebody's salary. Salary can be 1,255 naira or 200 blah 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 point something kobo. Or maybe you do a division of, let's say you say 5 divided by 2. That should give us how many? 2.5. Abi? I don't know maths again. Sure now. Yes. So it will be 2.5. So anybody you see point something, no say that in a float, that they call float. Any number with a decimal point is a float. Okay. So if I'm doing something like data analysis, for example, with Python, and I see a figure that has something point something, I know that, oh, that column now floats with this column. Or you understand? Or maybe, for example, see what is very important to. Maybe you are working with something, with the data, and you saw it as a float. You do know maybe the input the person is going to impute. I can't be teaching you practice here because if I teach you now, some of them don't know one. So I don't want to confuse you now, so I will explain that. let's say, for example, you want me person enter a salary. And you know, say person enter salary, it goes suppose enter like, let's say 1,250 naira points 25. So you know, say that point 25, the person must enter those points because it is possible, say, kobo go day. Now you know about this thing. Instead of it to create a variable that is a float that will accept that decimal point, you now created an integer that does not accept decimal point. What will happen is that at the end of the day, the person will actually enter his salary, but it will not work because you have created a wrong variable to accept that value. So your code might be faulty. But if your code actually later work, let me say it's all the information on the app or you type it there. Who will type at there? Let me type at there now. So if your code actually work, for example, you might have minus because integer, if they command anything before the decimal, it removes it away. So imagine somebody's salary of, let's say, like what I call now, you call the minus, you call the command kobo. By the time they calculate the kobo when you come out for 1,000 pesos, you don't, now so your app take up 1 million naira. You now start finding your app. That this app is a scam. So it is good to understand this. As small as this thing is, it can affect a big app that you want to develop, or any analysis that you want to do, or anything you want to do with Python. So that is an integer. That's a float, an integer. Another one is called a string. Now, what is a string? A string is a sequence of letters or numbers, but they are in quotes. Anything that you see is under quote like this or like this. That is what we call a string. That is a string. So your name, bank name, address, email address, which one I want to call? School name, job title, job description, anything, any combination of numbers and anything, but as long as they are in quotes, they are called string. And that quote in Python, there are two ways you can quote it. Either you use double quotes or you use single quotes. This one is single quotes. You see this one, and this one is a double quote. Now let me ask you a question. If you know what is an integer, you know what is a float, you know what is a string now. If you want to save somebody's phone number, let's say you want to create a variable now, because all this data type that we are doing is also type of variables. Don't forget to data type is also type of variables. It's the same thing. So all of these things that you're doing, let's say you want to create a variable now that will now save somebody's phone number. Which data type will you use? Don't just tell me this, I will use this. Explain why. It's the explanation that matters. Don't tell me the code is not working. Tell me why the code is not working. People are raising their hand. What are they raising their hand for? Is there anything bad? Okay, 3 people raise their hand. Let me call them. Osase, your hand. Let me be using people that are raising their hand. Osase, oh yeah, tell me now. Okay, Marvis, your hand is raised. Do you want to answer it? All of you raising your hand there. If I catch you, if I call your name and you don't say it, if I catch you, Olawale, Olawale, yes. Please, you raised your hand or you answer the question. Everybody raising their hand, they have seen. Osase number 1, you're in my book. Paul, number 2, you're in my book. Don't be raising your hand. See, Paul, you've removed your hand, no problem. I don't catch you already. Let me see comment section. Let me see what you are typing. I want to talk. Osase, I called you to talk, it's not talk. No problem. We cannot speak. Why can't you speak? Please, can we allow them on mute? Guys, I think they're trying to. I think the mic was locked, so let's allow them. Original GP, please, can you fix that? I'm coming, let me see if I can get you guys. Hello. Is it working now? Can you unmute yourself now? Okay. Let me just explain. I think they set it because of noise so that they will prevent noise from coming. No wala. It's cool. So just send your message. Don't worry, send your message. All right, let me read comments if that's the case. Okay, Sase is shouting on me. Don't worry, Sase, I'm forgiving you. Okay, you go for integer. Okay, but the answer is I will use string because it will enter it exactly as it is. Sharp, yes. Because some phone numbers has +2 3 something, +1 0 this, +1. So you use string. String is better because string can contain them. But normally phone numbers does not have decimal point actually. So somebody can say I will use integer. But as long as you are not using anything for computation, any number you are not using for computation. If I tell you save 1 2 3 4 5 6 as a value, if you are not using it to times, multiply, divide, anything, save it as a string. You don't need it because it can easily just fit there. You don't use phone numbers to calculate. So why save it as an integer? Keep it there as a string. So the right answer is a string. Yeah, clap for yourselves. So that I can't hear your people's voice again. People with big passwords don't meet us. Because I can't hear my students' voice, so I'm missing their voice. So someone would have been asking me question by now. I was amazed. People were quiet. People, they're not good though. Okay, but nobody say sorry, I have a question. All right, so let's finish it and then I'll take question with the next 5 minutes and we'll go on. The last one is Boolean. What does Boolean mean? Boolean simply means yes or no. That's true or false. So there's another data type you use in Python where you can say
sorry. Now
We are back.
somebody say we are back.
Hello.
It's good. I really well done. Please, let's maintain that flow for tomorrow. Tomorrow we just lock it like that. It's good. So that when we unmute everybody, they'll be happy. Okay, so just do as if your mic is still muted. Let's wait till 3 minutes. By 9:55, we'll do questions and then we'll go for today. So lastly is Boolean. Boolean simply means yes or no. You understand? Yes or no, true or false. So it is always, the value is simple, it's always true or false, which is what you are saying here. These are Python writes they are true. These are Python write they are false. They write their true with a capital letter and they are false with a capital letter. So they start it with a capital letter, which is what you have here, true, and then they end it with a capital letter, which is what you have here, false. Very, very important. You understand? So what it means by true is something, if you want to, we use it when you want to do condition. Maybe you want to say, if rain they fall, if rain they fall, which is, if rain they fall is equal to true, then do this. Else, if rain they fall is equal to false, then do something. So it's majorly used. Very important. This is very, very important. This variable stuff that we have said. So let me reiterate again. Let me go back again. And then the first thing we did today is that we have done what a variable is. You know what a variable is already. We've given us examples of it. We've given three forms of how a variable can be used. Container, you can assign it a name and it can change. Another thing again we've done is how you can name a variable. You don't use reserved words. You don't start with a symbol or use number. Another thing is you don't give space. You either use camel casing. This is what we call camel casing, where you start with a small letter and the next word is bigger letter, or you join them together and use underscore. Lastly, we say make your variable name useful. Then the next thing we did, we give examples of all of this, and the next thing we did 4 data types, which is also 4 type of variables you can get. You understand? There are different type of variables. You can have a list as a variable and all of that, but we'll get there, you understand. But for now, 4 data type you should know: integer, float, string, and boolean. It's important you understand all of this, because tomorrow we'll start doing things like arithmetic operators. What are the operators inside? You understand? Okay, so we'll start doing what are the operators inside and all of that. Before I say you should ask me questions. Tomorrow is one of our co-founders' birthday, which is Gospel. And let's just shout happy birthday to Gospel. Gospel, happy birthday to you. I'm glad ambassador for the community. There is an amazing person. Happy birthday, Gospel. Yeah, we
Happy birthday,
love this so much.
Mama.
So,
Happy birthday to you.
good.
Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, Gospel.
Make it drop
Happy
location.
birthday
Drop
to
location.
you.
Happy birthday.
No, we need initials. All right, let me take question. Let me take question, and then for the next 5 minutes. So what we'll do is I raise up your hand if you have a question. I will call you. Just raise up your hand if you have a question. I will call you. If you have not feel attendance, don't go. Don't start telling me mark attendance, mark attendance. Oh yeah, raise up your hand. Let me see if you have questions. Where are the people? Okay, based on how it's showing on my screen. Elvis, somebody meet your mic. Elvis, ask your question. Okay. Elvis, ask your question. Fine. I can't hear you. The next person. Ghost time, ask your question.
Okay. Good evening.
Good
Can
evening.
can you okay? Regarding the question you just asked not quite long ago regarding the integral and the stream. So you said stream is the answer. So what if peradventure in the aspect of maybe probably maybe exam or text or maybe classwork or so everything, and someone use integral, because normally we say that integral number without decimal points, and we also have phone numbers are numbers that also have a decimal points. So what if peradventure the phone number you use integral to analyze your data? So are you going to say that because the answer which you prefer is stream and someone use integral, you're not going to give the person the full mark, or the data that someone is analyzing is wrong, while the person is using integral? Hello? Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Ah.
Okay. Okay. Noted. Please, can you repeat your question again?
Okay.
Sorry, I lost. Can you hear me? Sorry,
Yeah,
I lost you. Okay, so what the answer is that an integer is used when you want to do computations, but when you want to numbers that you are not using for computation, and they are very long. Like a phone number can be of 11 digits or thereabouts. There's a part in Python where we talk about memory allocation, memory space. What is the bit size to which Python saves one value, like A or B or 1 or 2, that you're entering into a variable. So those are complex stuff to understand. You understand? There's a way Python saves it. There's a bit size Python used to save it. So it is best to always just, if you are not using for computation, even integer, this integer we are doing, they have bits. We have int 8, int 32, int 64. The same way goes for floats. So those are memory allocation. But I guess I believe you understand my point. All right. So 1 minute to go. Let me just take one question and we'll call it a day, guys. Let me know for a female.
No, I need to ask the question.
No, I'm looking for a female. Oh, okay. Osa. Osa Serious. Osa Serious.
I
Please
need
ask
to
a
ask a
question.
question.
No, don't ask a question.
I enjoyed today's class.
Okay, I can hear you.
I got lost when you clicked on the Google Collab app.
on the connect, I can't remember how I
Mm.
got that RAM and disk. So I want to know how I can do
Okay,
that.
this is what I did now. Click here. Do connect to a local to a hosted runtime. Once you click it, you get. Sometimes you don't even need to click these things. Once you run a cell, if you come to a collab node for the very first time and you write your code and you run the cell, if you have not done all of those things, automatically by itself it will try to connect. When it's done connecting, it will work. So you don't need to come here all the time and be clicking it. But as we go further, you'll be understanding Google Colab very well. But if I were you, I'll watch the video I sent and also take our time, maybe before tomorrow class, to just go through Google Colab and then work on. Google Colab is not an app, you don't install it, it's a browser. All right. So 10. Okay, one more question. Let me look for the Najim Ajani.
Good
If you have
evening,
asked your
or
question, lower your hand, please. Good evening.
good evening, facilitator. You have done well. Thank you for
Thank you.
the detailed lecture. You are not a lecturer, but a teacher.
Thank
Now,
you very
my
much.
question goes like this: what's the difference between these Colab and Python? Does Python has its own app, or this the Python platform we are going to use? Thank you.
All right, fine. So this is just one of the software you use to run Python. It's not like Python. There are no other software to use. But this one, the reason why we are using this one, let me repeat again. Make I repeat. The reason why they use this one is that you don't install it on your system. Some of us, your systems are low. If I tell some people go and install VSC now, you install the VSC before you know, you say I need to install this again to work. I need to install that one. It will take time. This one is just a website that Google as you can use to run code anytime, Python code anytime. That doesn't mean you don't have other softwares like PyCharm. You can use PyCharm to run Python. PyCharm, Anaconda, you can use that one to run it. VS Code, you can use it to run it. You get the idea. But this one is more preferable. So it's a website, eh? That's why we're using
All
this.
right.
Like
Thank
as I'm
you.
talking to you now, just like I'm on my browser and I'm coding. And this
All
code,
right.
one thing about using Colab, let me also explain. One thing about using Colab is that Colab is attached to your Google Drive. Listen, Colab is attached to your Google Drive. It means that even if your system is bad, for example, I can work on any project with any system as long as I can log in my Google account in that system. Because immediately I can log in my Google account to your system, because all the code I'm writing on Colab, it is stored to my Google Drive. So I can easily go there and find it. For example, see this one that we just did today, PIP community, PIP Colab test. If I go to my drive, let me see if I can click our drive. Cover your eye, don't look at many things. So anything that does not concern you. Look at it here. See,
All
look
right.
at it. Look at your attendance, anyways. Look at, you see, I can get it. This is the PIP stuff I did. We just did here. And if I come back here, I can share. Meaning you can share
All
your
right.
code to somebody so that the person can say, if I don't run the code, though, put the person email here. The person will get a notification and come and look at the code you have written. That's what most of you will be doing when you are doing assignment. And you can, restrict it.
All right.
Anybody with the link will see this code. So for today, I would do this one as anyone can view the code. The link to this thing, I will put it on the Telegram platform. You guys can go and get it. When you get it, it means that you can access this code that we have done. Don't delete anything, no. Just look at the code and move on. I will send the link
All
to
right.
the
Thank you
Telegram
very much.
platform. All right, so let me take one more
Thank you.
question. Don't delete it, oh. Just look at the code and leave it. Or better still, when you come here, you go to file. See download it. Once you download it as this one, it will go to your system. If you delete it, the next person that will come will not say anything. No. Okay. So let me take one more.
Is that
Sorry,
the
guys.
question? I have a
I'm
question.
coming. Let me see the ones that are raised. Let me just attend to them. Osazuwa, ask your question. After Osazuwa, God's favor we ask. After God's favor, great we ask.
Good evening, facilitator.
Good evening. Go ahead.
You have really done a great day today. I actually enjoyed your lecture, your teaching. Right, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm a novice to this anyway, but I'm trying to follow up so that at the end of the day, I will have a good take home.
Okay. I can hear you. I can hear you. Let's be fast with it. Hello, can anybody hear you?
No, we cannot hear him. Oh.
Okay.
can't
Okay.
hear
That's
you.
what you say.
The
Maybe
time
when
is
we are
going. Let me.
actually on mute.
I can't
Okay.
hear
Let me.
him.
Okay. Let me just pick somebody. Look, guys. I'll ask
Let question be done in the WhatsApp platform.
No. Let me answer. Don't worry. Let me answer this. Any question that can go to the WhatsApp, I'll tell them to go to the WhatsApp platform. Let me just answer two more. The idea is that answering somebody's question is answering the question that you want to ask. So let's do God's favor. After God's favor, we'll do grace, and that will be all for today. Let's do God's favor, and after God's favor, we'll do grace.
Okay, thanks so much for the opportunity, and I appreciate the lessons today. Okay, my question is talking about the rules of naming a variable. The third point there, you said do not give space in your variable name, rather use underscore. And then I discovered that in some of the instances you gave, for instance, first underscore name, some are in capital letter, some in small letter. Please, I really don't get that aspect.
Okay. All right. Fine. That's the question. Okay. Fine. So let's go. Great. Ask your question. I'll answer both together.
Okay.
It's great there. Zoe, great. All right. So since Zoe, great. Somebody was saying, I have a question, and I told
Good
the
evening,
person to
sir.
hold.
Good evening,
The person
everyone.
should answer. Is it great that is talking now?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay,
Thanks
go
for
ahead.
the
Go ahead. Go ahead.
opportunity to talk. Good evening, sir. Thanks for the opportunity
Good
to
evening.
talk. Good evening, everyone. My question is that is it only this Python collab we can use to run our Python programs, or will it come out like this the way we run it, or other apps we can run it same way like this, or is only this app can use to run it like this?
Okay, I've answered that question actually. Great. I answered it that there are other various way to write Python script. I have answered why we are using Colab already. So you can explore. All it is, but what you can do is just go to Google and type IDE for Python. IDE for Python programming language. It will tell you many ways you can use to. There's another one called Spider. You can use Spider to write Python. You understand? So that's the idea. But we are just using Colab. So that Colab is easy because you are not downloading anything.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I think that's the last question for today because it's already 10 to 10. This class is scheduled for 1 hour.
Please,
So
can I
whatever
ask you
questions
something? Hi,
who's talking?
my name is Bobby. Hi.
Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to catch something with you. Sorry, I'm not right here in Nigeria. I'm in Canada. I'm doing this
I'm
Python
hearing
course in
echo.
school. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead. Hi, Bobby.
Let me his network is breaking.
Call me Bobby.
Before
Okay,
you
just
come back.
type it. Somebody said I've not answered your question. The answer to the first question is that capital letter you saw is just a way to differentiate so that somebody can understand the two variables you are adding together, the two names you are adding together. So first name. So either you use underscore to separate them, or you use the one that you are seeing on my screen. The first is with starting with small letter, and name is starting with capital letter. It's just a way to help readability. That's the idea about it. So instead of giving a space, don't give space when you are naming a variable. Either it's one word. If it is more than one word, make sure they are together, or use underscore to separate it. Or else your journey to error begins. I will be here to help you, Sha, for some season, but we'll be here to laugh too. Because some of us will
Yeah,
laugh at our
please.
code then.
I want to yeah. Good evening, everyone. Please, if you use integer and you need to approximate, how do you go about that? Does integer does approximation or what? How do you approximate? You have a number and you don't want to cut it off. You want to approximate it.
Oh,
Is there a data?
you have left you have left you've left level A and you're running to level. But anyway, there's something called round in Python. You can use round to round up. You can use round. There's a function called round. You can use it to estimate to maybe how many numbers you want or thereabout. So don't worry, you look at it. When we're doing a problem case, somebody will just type the code, you get it. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So guys, I think that's right. So what I promise you, I'll send you the link to this code, but it will be on the Telegram platform. At the end of the class, go to the WhatsApp group. You will see the link to join the Telegram platform. Join it, you get the stuff. Then so that's all, guys. Let's not delay too much. So I'll see you tomorrow by 9
Please,
p.m.
please, attendance is not recorded for the end of the class, so attendance is not taken for the end of the class. It is showing response already taken. Should we leave it that way?
If it's showing response already taken, it could be that you've already filled it before.
Yes, leave it that way. Yes, just leave it that way. Thank you.
Okay.
But if you have not taken,
all right.
Please.
So somebody's
See the
asking,
link
please,
again.
the link to the WhatsApp group. Arisen, please post the link to join to register as PIP under PIP so that they can get that way to join the WhatsApp group. Now go to the WhatsApp group, guys. Go and talk about how the class was. I want to see how the class was for you. Don't just go there. Don't just go home and go and sleep. Go to the WhatsApp group. Talk about how the class was before we send the link to the Telegram. I'll be sending it shortly now. All right, guys. That's all for me. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much.